Yes, my people, them CFC Redis Blue back with another video, and this is the player ratings for the Chelsea and Arsenal game in the Premier League yesterday, which we drew 1-1. Man, I it's gonna be my one, and obviously, man's doing it live this time. Normally, I'll do a video, but now man's going live. You guys can interact a little bit more, and yeah, man, just could give you my thoughts and opinions on every single player who played and our manager Enzo Maresca. So stay tuned for that and make sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments or in the chat and let me know who your man of the match was for this game. But now let's get into the player ratings and oh yeah, please check out the news update as well as check out the content coming this week because I'm doing a lot of international watch alongs. So stay tuned for that. But now let's go into the player ratings. So this is it. Starting off with Robert Sanchez in goal. And Sanchez, man, I'm going to be so honest, man. It is so jarring to have you as a keeper. That moment that you caused yesterday, the Martinelli goal, bravo. How are you not marking your near post? How? How can you not do that? You literally could have done so many things that can stop that goal. All you had to do is just move a little bit to the side. That's it. But you literally left this amount of room, yeah. And on top of that, it's only one place that it can go, and you're giving them the right opportunity to score. And that's the reason why we've conceded. If you just pattern up there, we could have won this game. Because other than that, their chances were near chances. Nothing they would be like, oh yeah, if they had one touch, then it could have gone in or something like that. But generally speaking, that was their best chance, and you allowed them to score. So for me, I'm gonna be so honest. My rating for you is a 4.5 because that there cost us. That there cost us. It wasn't as bad as other games have been. Ideally against Manchester United when you gave away that pen, but it's still not nothing that's too good. And you are one of the reasons why top four isn't a guaranteed for us because defensively we're just not there. It's not just down to you, but you play a factor in that. So yeah, man, I'm gonna give Robert Sanchez a 4.5. So yeah, you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. Now, man is gonna move on to the next player, which is our right back, Malo Gusto, wherever he is. There he is. Malo Gusto. Man like Malo, man. Do you know what's so jarring as well? Is the fact that obviously the goal that Martinelli scored that came from your hand side. You had moved up a lot in the match, but you was able to get back, but just not in time. That's the one thing that we can big you up for. I will big you up for is the fact that your speed, yeah, the fact that you have that speed, that's a big reason why you will start most games for us because no one in our defense has that speed, that recovery pace that you can have. But yesterday, it just wasn't enough. You could have busted got quicker, but you tried to get there and you nearly did. You slid, but it was just a little bit too late, just a millisecond. And other than that, I feel like you had a decent game. Defensively, it's not always going to be the best, but I've been saying all season that our defense will stop us from getting top four. That's the one thing. That's what I've been saying. But we have to understand that we have a very young team. Malo Gusto is only 21 years old. He still has a lot of time that he can improve on. And other than that defensive, his miss, it's just jarring. That Pedro Neto cross and his miss, it is very, very annoying. But man has to accept the fact that these are the things that will happen. And he is not a goal scorer. He is a defender. And he found himself in that position and it didn't work out. If it was Reece James, it might have been a goal. Probably would have been. But if we're going to be honest, Malo Gusto is still learning. There are still so many years ahead of him until he gets to his full best. So I'm not gonna hold it down to him. So I gave Sanchez a 4.5, but I'm gonna give Gusto a 6.5 because I feel like he had a very good game and he's still trying to learn a different role that Maresca is hell bent on teaching him because clearly when it comes to the inverted thing, it's either gonna be Cucurella or Malo Gusto, but more often than not, it's been Malo Gusto. So you have to just bear with him. But yeah, I'm gonna give him a 6.5 for the game against Arsenal. You'll let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. And then we have our centre backs. Obviously, we had Levi Cole there, but Wesley Fofana. So, man like Wesley Fofana, you know, big you up for your performance, man. Big you up for your performance. I personally think that it was a very good performance from you in the game against Arsenal. We have to bear in mind that man like Fofana, he has been injured for a long period of time and he has been playing every single Premier League game for us this season, and he's still getting back to his best. But I feel like yesterday was a sign or just a showing that he is getting back to his best. My rating for him is a 7, and the reason why I'm going to give him that is just due to the fact that going forward with the ball, he's always very good. He won a lot of his tackles yesterday, a lot of clearances. He even obviously broke forward in the play, went past like 2 or 3 Arsenal players and went forward with the ball. There was that chance that he had was a ball crossed in. His foot, it was a good volley, but just went over the bar. Personally speaking, I feel like he had a very good game. And yeah, man, just keep doing your thing, Wesley Fofana, because you'll just keep on improving and getting back to the level that you would have shown at Leicester, which made you one of the most expensive centre backs ever. So for me, my rating for him, I'm gonna give Wesley Fofana a 7 for his performance. Bless me, because I do think he was our best defender yesterday. He actually no, I shouldn't say our best defender, our best centre back he was yesterday. So big him up for that. Big him up. But then we move on to our second centre back, and his name is man like Levi Colwill. And yeah, man, Colwill, man, decent game again. Obviously, jarring not to keep a clean sheet, but it was a good performance from you. Not a lot of people like not a lot of people like the way you go about games, the way you complain, the way you obviously even against Man United and then against Arsenal, if they're trying to take a quick free kick or a quick goal kick, I should say, you'll get in the way to try to block it. They won't like that, but as a Chelsea fan, man loves that. Man loves that. Stop them from doing whatever they're trying to do to try and score a goal. But what I would say to you is that you just need to practice better with your the timing of your tackles because yeah, man, eventually you could get a card or a red card for that matter because you always every game Levi's reaction is always like, how? How? That's how his reaction is most of the time. We see that near enough every single game. So me and my friends were talking about in our Chelsea chat, but Levi Cole, that's just the defensive side. If we're talking about his ball playing ability, the balls he pings from left side centre back are absolutely brilliant. He is a future star. I'm going to say that he is a future star because man truly believes that he can be one of the best centre backs in the world. And at only 21 years old, he has so much time to get there. Let's just bear in mind, you don't like guys like Virgil van Dijk, who is arguably the best centre back in the world or has been for the last 5 years. At 21 or 22, no one had this vision that he would be this. At Southampton, no one would thinking like that he would be the best. Only a certain few clubs would have, but then Liverpool gave him the opportunity and the platform to shine. Chelsea, we're nowhere near our best. We are nowhere near competing for the Champions League or Premier League. But when we do, which will be sooner rather than later, he will be involved. Levi Cole. That's how much belief that I have in him. That's how much belief that man thinks that he will be one of the Premier League's top 3 centre backs in the league at some point. Next season, the season after that, or the season after that. One of those. But he's on his way to doing it. Just keep on improving and just time your tackles a little bit better. Bless me. Because a lot of these referees, they are out to get Chelsea, so just be on top of that. Be on top of that. But yeah, that's my rating for Levi Cole. I'm gonna give him a 6.5 as well as Malo Gusto. So I'm gonna give him a 6.5 as well. And now we'll move on to the left back. And wait, our left back. Man like Cucurella locking up Bukayo Saka. Locking up Bukayo Saka. And yeah, man, got to big up Cucurella. Let me show you guys some of his stats from yesterday. And my bro, Cucurella, man. He was doing his thing yesterday. You see, man, like Saka, he was on niche. Saka didn't dribble past Cucurella one time yesterday. Cucurella had him on lock. I know there's gonna be people out there that'll be talking about Cole Palmer. He didn't do too much, but what did Saka do? What did a man like Saka do? Just as much, Nish. Both of them didn't do much, and they were the key guys that people were looking out for, saying, "Oh yeah, these are the guys that should be doing their thing." But neither of them really lived up to it. But the reason why Saka didn't is because of one man, and that is Mark Cucurella. Man like Cucurella, man. I'm about to try to show his stats from the game that I have. 2 seconds, but damn, bro. But yeah, here's some of his stats from the game. Where in the hell are you, man? Oh, this thing's taking years to load, man. This is taking its time to load. I'll come back to that. But yeah, Mark Cucurella though, he locked up Saka, and he's the reason why Saka didn't have a good game yesterday. That is the reason, and like I said, or showed, big you up, Cucurella, for your performance in that match, because if you weren't there, Saka could have had a much better game. Arsenal could have won, but it wasn't the case. You locked him up, made so many different clearances, made so many different tackles, and man's just happy to know that you are improving, because there was a time where I didn't feel like you could be one of our best players, and that's after obviously that dreaded 22-23 season. But you have proved me wrong. Even last season, you was literally Chelsea's most improved player, in my opinion. You literally was our most improved player last season. And this is Cucurella's stats yesterday. As you can see, them and there had Saka on ropes. Just look at him in that graphic there. But then look, he played 90 minutes, had 57 touches, had 36 passes completed, had 92% ball pass accuracy. He had 3 interceptions, 3 tackles, ground duels 1, 4, and 3 clearances. He was on his job yesterday in terms of defensive work. So big you up, Cucurella. Big you up. My rating for him, I'm going to give Cucurella an 8 for his performance. Them and there locked up Saka. Fucking hell, my nose. My nose, man. 2 seconds. Oh, fam, I got a cold. Hey, big him up. But yeah, that's some stats from Cucurella. Big him up for his performance. Like I said, my rating for him is going to be an 8. Now, gonna move on to our CDMs for the match. Bloody hell. Our CDMs for the match. Starting off with the man, the myth, the one and only, Moises Caicedo, and man like Caicedo. Big you up for your performance, man. Big you up. In midfield, I feel like you and Lavia are just getting better and better as time goes on. You had another solid performance. And there's some people in this world that will say that you was our best players today. And I can't necessarily say that that's not the case, because if we take away the goal and we look at the build-up play, if we look at your tackles, your interceptions, other than the fact that you nearly scored an own goal near to the end, other than that, like, you was just doing brilliantly. But this is a standard Moises Caicedo thing. This is a guy who I label as Mr. Consistent for Chelsea. He literally is Mr. Consistent. If there's nothing to do with goals being scored or anything like that, you can count on Moises Caicedo to have a great performance near enough every single game, because he doesn't need goals to stand out, even though he can get goals, even though he can get assists, but he gets those things plus ground rules one. He gets tackles, he gets clearances, he wins the ball back in so many different areas that can help Chelsea just start an attack. And that's the one thing that man will always love about Moises Caicedo, and just love about any player that we have. We need midfielders like him with the mentality that can just do anything that needs to be done. Score a goal, get an assist, ping the ball 60 yards right, ping the ball 40 yards left. All of these different things, clearances, tackles, like, that is what we need our midfielders to do. And the only thing that you would have hoped that could be different is that he might be a little bit bigger, but he's just an N'Golo Kante region, literally, just an N'Golo Kante region, and he's just doing his thing. I'm happy to know that we have Moises Caicedo here, and even when we was going to sign him, I did say on Twitter that, yeah, man, we have to sign Moises Caicedo. We cannot leave the transfer window without him. So yeah, man. My rating for Moises Caicedo for this match, I'm going to give him a 7 against Arsenal, a 7. So big up for your performance. Moises Caicedo, big you up. But then we have our next CDM, and his name is Romeo Lavia, which is here. Man like Lavia, man. Big you up. And if you haven't checked out the news update, yeah, man, check that out to hear some Romeo Lavia news. Romeo Lavia news. But yeah, he did come off with an injury yesterday in the game, which is kind of jarring because he has had so many injury problems. But focusing on his performance during the match, it was solid. Very good. Again, one of the best players for Chelsea on the day when we came up against a side that was heavily favourites against us. But with guys like Romeo Lavia, guys like Moises Caicedo in the holding midfield areas, it will be difficult for teams to do well. And I do feel like we definitely did nullify Arsenal's attack for a large part, because they weren't really much. They wasn't. They couldn't. Saka was on this getting locked up by Cucurella. Havertz was just moving crap, because if you're just going to be honest, if Arsenal fans want to be honest, he's not that good, and he is not a striker. But that just makes it easier for us, and easier for guys like Romeo Lavia, Declan Rice. He was getting eaten up in the match. He even got eaten up by Moises Caicedo. Can't forget the Partey's and Odegaard in midfield. I feel like Lavia and Caicedo held their own, like they have always done so far this season, whether it's against Liverpool, whether it's against Man City, whether it's against Man United. They're holding their own. We might not get the wins, but no one can sit there and say that we play rubbish. Everyone will sit there and say that we have come a long way, because we were literally so rubbish. This time last year, bottom half of the table. The season before that, we finished 12th. Now we have guys like Lavia and Caicedo in the midfield who are regularly fit. it's just gonna make our team a whole lot better as long as they're fit. So I do hope that there's nothing serious about him coming off yesterday. I hope there's no injury. So yeah, man. But just hope he doesn't go on international break either because he was called up for Belgium. So hopefully he doesn't go on international break. But yeah, my rating for Romeo Lavia as well as Caicedo, I'm giving them both a 7. Big you lot up for your performance. Big you lot up. And then we have our left mid on the day. And you guys already know who it is. Once I find him though. Where is he? Where is he? He is close. There he is. Man like Pedro Neto. Big him up, man. Big him up for his performance. We can't talk about just the goal. Let's talk about the first half where he's taken on his guys, Ben White, trickery, that ball he put in for Malo Gusto, which Gusto should have scored. He should have had an assist as well as a goal. Oh. What?
You take a hat?
Yeah.
Oh, just not the hat, bro.
Okay, sure.
Hold it.
What do you need for? But yeah, Pedro Neto, he got his goal and he got his assist. Well, I mean, he should have had an assist. That Malo Gusto, he missed that chance. It's just jarring. But that doesn't take away from Pedro Neto's performance. It just says that he should have had an assist. His goal, that ball from Enzo just picked him out in the right space at the right time. Arsenal's team are just sleeping, and Neto gets the goal, puts it in the bottom corner. Ayo, big him up for that goal because his goal was immense. Arsenal couldn't do nothing, and it literally just came out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere. That is what Pedro Neto is capable of, and that is what Pedro Neto does. He is a game changer. And for me, he should definitely be starting on the right hand side. Noni Madweki is not doing enough. He needs to be starting on the right. He has to, because his willingness to take on his man and to let shots off and get them on target, big him up, man. Big him up. It's a big reason why he starts for Chelsea and his national team, Portugal. So hopefully he has a good international break and doesn't come back with an injury. But he is the man of the match against Arsenal. I'm going to give him a 9 for his performance. So big you up. Big you up, Pedro Neto. Big you up. My man of the match. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. He was your man of the match. Pedro Neto. Moises Caicedo. Sorry. Moises Caicedo. Mark Correa. Let me know on the votes on the poll. He was your man of the match. So yeah. Woo-wee. That is Pedro Neto. That was our left winger. And yeah, man, I'm going to give him a 9. Big up for your performance, my G. But now let's turn our attention to the right hand side. And as you can see, it is Noni, Madweki, a man like Non-Zino, you know. Man like Non-Zino. You need to pattern up, man. He needs to pattern up. Yesterday just weren't good enough. Your shots weren't doing enough. Your shots weren't good enough. As well as that, just your decision making. Like, everyone would talk about Malo Gusto. He is what's the thing called? Malo Gusto should have done better defensively. But if you guys look at the clip and you look at that goal, Noni Madueke does not bust a gut. You should have done better. You should have done better defensively and get to the byline, get to your man. That is what should have happened because you didn't do that. And if you did that, that could have helped us have more options in the box and could have stopped Arsenal scoring that goal. And then when we score, we could have won the game. But again, defensively, you weren't doing enough. In other games, you have, but in that game, you fell off. And I was saying even before the start of the match, guys need to be switched on. Do not sleep, especially at the back post, because where did the pass go to? At the back post, where there's a free man. You, Gusto, should have done better. Gusto nearly got there, but you was in the box just walking, jogging. That is not good enough, Noni Madueke. That is not good enough. And that's the reason why man be saying that he needs to hold the bench. Even yesterday, I'm there thinking, put Cole on the right or something. Because he isn't getting too much into this game. Put him on the right where he can drift into the middle. Take off Noni. Bring on Nkunku or something. That's what I was saying in the match yesterday. But it's like he did eventually get taken off, but he just needs to do better. And then now man's hearing after the game that when he got taken off, he went straight down the tunnel. What kind of mentality is that? Like, what kind of mentality is that? You don't have the what's the thing called? You don't have an injury or anything. You can sit on the bench and watch the rest of the game, but instead you're getting upset. It's like you need to do better. You need to do better. All of those one-to-one sessions and that are great, but you need to do it in the match as well. Since that not in the first game where you got your goal, what have you been doing recent? What have you been doing since? Because we have a mad amount of attackers. A mad amount of attackers. We literally have 7 attackers on our books that are first team players. Do not get comfortable. Do not, because you can get benched. And remember, there's a guy called Estavio that's coming next summer who can play on the right. You need to pattern up, or your position could get taken. Because as much as I would want to believe in guys, I would want Noe Maweki to do better. I'd want Maweki to be a part of a team that could win the Premier League. But realistically, there is no guarantees. This is my thoughts and opinions, but you need to put the work in, not just in the individual sessions, one-to-ones and that. It's in the matches. Do more. Do more. Because whenever Cole Palmer hasn't been doing that well, you haven't been our best attacker. Nowhere close. It's Pedro Neto. Jackson can do more than you. You need to do better, Noni Madueke, especially off the right-hand side. Because Cole was playing there for the majority of last season. Look what he was doing. So, he needs to do better. But my rating for Noni Madueke, I'm going to give him a 5. You need to do better, man. You have to do better. And I agree, he needs to hold the bench because he needs to know what it feels like to not be playing. Because Mazel heard reports of the fact that Joao Felix, when he saw the last subs coming on, he got so angry that he ripped up his sock ties or something like that because he knew he wouldn't get on. We got guys that were Joao Felix who have been on the scene for many, many years. You can't get game time, but yet you will be there complacent or getting angry because you're getting taken off. Like, pattern up, man. Pattern up. Cut out these little kid kind of situations, but in a sense, they are little kids because they're 22s and that. You man are not that mature. You need to get mature. You need to have more maturity and take things a lot more seriously. And when that comes, and if you're talking about taking it seriously, not just attacking, but defensively, bust your gut and get back so that we do not concede. Because we all know that our weakest points is our defense. So he needs to do better, Noni. But yeah, my rating for you is a 5. He needs to get dropped. I'll be real. Either play Cole Palmer off the right and play Neto on the left if Sancho isn't fit, or play Sancho on the left, Pedro on the right, Cole in the middle, Jackson cam. If not, putting Kunku in the cam, Cole on the right, and Neto on the left. Something like that has to happen. Has to. But that's Noni Madueke. My rating for him is a 5. Now, Now we're going to move on to our next player, and we all know who that is. We all know who that is. Our number 10. Well, he plays in the number 10 position, I should say. But here he is. Somewhere. There he is. The man, the myth, the legend, the coldest man wherever he goes. Cole Palmer. He is there, man. He is there. And Cole, as it says in the title, he wasn't impressive, you know. He wasn't. You was quiet. You was very quiet yesterday. It's jarring because we're trying to put you in different pockets, but it's like a majority of the time you're moving on the left hand side, and that is not the area where you need to be moving in. Obviously, you're learning a different kind of game, learning how to be in different positions. Because last season you're literally just coming off the right hand side and getting to the middle. Now you're in the middle. You move over to the left at times. You move over to the right at times. That's what you do. But it's like on the left where Arsenal had you for the majority of the game, they had you. Partey was man marking you. It was not easy. And these are the situations where you need to get better in because the man marking situation, especially when you come up against a strong defensive team, has to do a little bit better. But man's not going to be overly too critical on you because this is still the guy that has 12 goal involvements in 11 Premier League games. As not good yesterday as he might not have been, it doesn't make up for the fact that he's been 10 out of 10 on multiple occasions already this season. So, yeah, man, Cole Palmer, just keep doing your thing. I know that the goals will come, the assists will come because this is our best player. We know that if we're going to do well, you're going to have to do well. And we will do well this season, which means you will. So just keep grinding, keep focused, and keep doing you because the goals will come, the assists will come. Just didn't happen yesterday. And for so many people that will be like, oh, he hasn't turned up in all of these different games and that. Hey, people need to remember, other than Liverpool, he scored against every other Big Six team. People talk about pen merchant, da 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 da. All of your attackers score pens, whether that's Saka, whether that's a Man United with Bruno Fernandes. The only team that can't talk about penalties really is Liverpool and Man City, but I don't hear them talking too much. So for you Arsenal and Man United fans, you guys look at your own players because our best player, is only a year and a bit into his full career in terms of Premier League, where this guy has been a starter. He has done this for just over 12 months. And he has been the player with the most goals and assists in a Premier League season. Last season, 33 more than any other player. This season, for the majority of the season, he's had the most goal involvements. That's now Salah, but he still has 7 goals, 5 assists in the Premier League. Don't put disrespect on Cole Palmer's name. Do not. And on top of that, don't forget what he done for England as well. Them and there scored in Euro finals. Not many England players can say that they've done that. So just shh. With all that noise about Cole Palmer, focus on your Bukayo Sakas and your Phil Folders who have had numerous amount of years in the Premier League. Focus on them because Cole eventually will be a Premier League winner, even though he has already done that with Man City. He's a Champions League winner. He has those winners' medals in his archives and all of that. So just remember that. Remember that. But my rating for Cole Palmer yesterday, I'm just gonna give him a 5.5. Wasn't a great performance, but yeah, man, I'm gonna give you a 5.5. But then obviously that is our cam. Now it's time for our striker. And where is he at? Man, like Nico. And I can't even lie, you know. Do you know the one thing that's so jarring to come up against one of the title favourites is that their defence is so solid, man. It's actually so jarring. But that's the reason why they are title favourites or title challengers. Because they literally have players or have a team that can challenge for it. We don't. Nowhere near. look at our defense. It is not good. It's not good enough, especially compared to the other defenses. And that's when you're putting Nicholas Jackson up against a Van Dijk or Konate, or you put him up against a Saliba or Gabriel. Like these defense, it's not easy to break down. He did have a goal. He did have a goal ruled out for offside, but obviously that just happens. But I'm glad to know that you put the ball in the back of the net from that. But overall, in these games, I can't really expect too much involvement from you just due to the fact that we're not going to have too much space. Everyone knows that our best thing is our transitions, and that's where you shine the majority of the time. So I can't hold anything against you. I do think that your performance was okay, could be better, 100%, but I'm going to give you a 6 for your performance. Just Arsenal's defense just was so hard to break down. It was not easy. And looking at our goal that we scored, we didn't even break them down. We just found someone in the right space at the right time, and Pedro Neto just slowed it into the bottom of the corner. So, and other than that, we had that one chance in the box from his crosses. So, yeah, man. Nani Madueke, my rating for you is going to be a 6. In these games, it will not be easy. And the only way that you will be able to really shine is when you score. But that's not going to be happening in every single big game. Hence why there's not really too many high goal scoring margins when it's come up against two very good teams. So, yeah, man, I'm going to give you a 6 for your performance. Big up. And obviously, I forgot to show this before. This is Pedro Neto stats. This is show this before. This is Pedro Neto stats. He played 90 minutes, got 1 goal, 38 touches, 17 passes completed, 89 pass accuracy, 1 big chance created. He had 3 ground duels won and was fouled twice. That was his stats from the match. But now let's go back to the ratings. And obviously we've done the starting 11. Now it's time for the subs. And obviously we're going to start off with man like Enzo Fernandez. So yeah, man like Enzo, big up for your performance and big up for your assist, man. You done very well to get that assist. And speaking of the assist, let me just show you his stats for the match. This is Enzo's stats for the match. So bro played 22 minutes. He had 1 assist, got 23 touches, 13 passes completed, 81% pass accuracy, 2 key passes, 3 ground duels won, and 3 tackles won. That is some of his stats from the game yesterday. And yeah, man, big up Enzo for his performance. On the pitch for not too long, but he helped us get the goal back with the assist, finding Pedro Neto in that space, which was a good pass. 3 ground duels won. You made a couple good tackles as well, winning the ball back. So I'm gonna have to give you a 6 for your performance. Well done, and yeah, man, good luck to you with Argentina on the international break. But yeah, I'm gonna give Enzo Fernandez a 6. You don't let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments. And then we move on to our next substitution, which was man like Mudryk. Where is he? My like Mikhailo and Mudryk. I'm not gonna lie, he didn't really do too much though. He didn't really do too much yesterday. He didn't really do too much. So my rating for him is a 5. I can't really talk too much. I don't think he done anything major, really. He did track back and do some good defensive work, but nothing that I can pinpoint and be like, yeah, he had a standout performance after coming off the bench. So my rating for him is just a 5. Then our other substitution, which was our captain, Reece James. Man like Reece, he came off the bench. calm performance. I'm also going to give him a 5. Nothing to really say that, he did this so magnificently, which why he deserves a 6 or anything higher. Enzo got that. He made a good amount of assists. A good amount of tackles. Got the assist for a goal. Reese, for me, you're just going to get a 5. So, yeah, man. Nothing negative or anything, but just a standard 5. He was on the pitch for about 10, 15 minutes at max. So, yeah, I'm going to give you a 5. And then we have our last substitution, which was man like Christo and Kunku. Man like Nkunku, I big him up for his performance. I wish you had more game time, man. I wish you did. You only played like 10 minutes at max. I wish you did have more game time, man. I was all calling for it. That no one gets taken off. You can put Colin around, put you in the middle. But it just wasn't meant to be. Enzo Maresca clearly views you as a striker. So anytime you do come on, it's going to be for Nicholas Jackson more often than not. Which is kind of jarring because man knows that the striker position isn't your best position. But man's not the manager. So, yeah, man, I'm going to give you a 5. I do feel like you deserve a lot more game time. You're one of the few players that doesn't play in the A team majority of the time, but you get off the bench more often than not, more than any other player, but that's not good enough. He needs to start games. He needs to start, or else we will be looking at Nkunku being here for a little bit of time. He could be leaving next summer if by the end of the season he's not a star, because with the quality that he shows, having scored 10 Premier League goals for us, not 10 Premier League goals, 10 goals in all competitions for us. Fair enough, people can say most of the have been scored in the Conference League or the Carabao Cup, but he has contributed in the Carabao Cup, he has contributed in the Conference League, he has contributed in the Premier League with goals, with getting us 3 points. Can't forget about his performance against Bournemouth, where if he doesn't do what he does, we don't win that game. We don't have 18 points. We are not third in the Premier League table. A lot of these things are down. A lot of these things, not everything is, but a lot of it can be said that he has helped us a lot with our season. He was arguably our best player during preseason, but since then he hasn't been able to get start time, other than the first game against Manchester City. But even in then, he's playing off the left. Like, he needs to get introduced a little bit more, in my opinion. So I just really hope that in the future he gets more game time, or man will have to be eventually say goodbye, because he knows that he wants to start, and every single player who plays for their club wants to start for their team. They do. But with his talent, he will get opportunities at another club who will want him, and that can start him near enough every single game. Will Chelsea be able to do that before now and the end of the season? Personally, I don't think so, but I do hope so, because I don't want him to leave. He is a player that can be world class. It's something I've said in Man's News update that you can see after this video is done or the live stream is done. But yeah, man, in Nkunku, I really hope that you get your time to shine. You can become a Chelsea first team star, but that will probably mean that a guy like, either Sancho or Neymar Rookie have to make way or something like that, because we have too many attackers. We have too many, so eventually someone will have to leave, and that could be Christopher Nkunku, man, which is so jarring. But we'll see. We'll see, man. But yeah, man, that is our starting 11 and our subs. That is our starting 11 and our subs. A man like Eve and Nkunku should start more. Nah, it's true, man. He should. He should. But yeah, that is Nkunku's rating. I gave him a 5 as well. Now it's time to rate our manager. Enzo Maresca. And Maresca, man, I'm happy with the lineup. I was happy with the lineup. I was happy with the performance, the way he set up the team. But the only thing I can say that I wasn't really happy with is how long the substitutions took to make. But you did do the substitution. Enzo came on and he impacted the game and helped us get the draw with that pass. So I can't fault anything. My rating for you is going to be a 9. I feel like we're not starting the second halves as quickly as we were during the first couple of weeks after the international break. Maybe it's just due to the amount of more games that we are playing and that we are a young team. But I'm happy with the way you're conducting yourself, the way you're helping the team improve, the way you're being so honest. So just keep that up. And yeah, man, we are making serious progress under this manager in just over 3 months. So I hope that it continues. Keep doing your thing, Maresca, and my rating for you is going to be a 5. You guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments on my player ratings. My player rating for Robert Sanchez was a 4.5. My second rating was Fernando Gusto. That was a 6.5. Then for the centre backs, Wesley Fofana, I gave him a 7. He played well. Oh. Mm. No, I agree. Fofana is improving. He is. He is getting better. So I hope that it continues. That's the reason why I said that my rating for him is a 7. And people need to remember in the fact that he was injured for all of last season. And he's just getting back up to speed. But he is getting better. He is. And then obviously for our CDMs, Caicedo, I gave Caicedo a 7. Yeah, Caicedo, he was brilliant. He was brilliant. He owned a man like Declan Rice, who was on niche and had to get taken off as well. Couldn't pass the Caicedo test. And then Lavia, I gave Lavia a 7 as well. Big up for his performance. And then on the left, we had Pedro Neto. I gave him a 9. He was my man of the match. And then on the right-hand side, Noni Madueke, I gave him a 5. Needs to do better and should be dropped. Then I'll give Cole Palmer, I gave him a 5.5. It was a quiet game from him, but he is our best player. And he does have 12 goals and assists in the Premier League, so let's not forget about that. So I give him a 5.5. But he's in no danger of ever getting dropped. So, yeah, man. And then we have our striker, Nicholas Jackson. I gave him a 6. Playing up against Gabriel and Saliba won't be easy. So, yeah, man, he done quite well in the match. but yeah, I gave him a 6. Then our substitutions, I gave Enzo Fernandez a 6. I gave Mikhailo Mudryk a 5. I gave Reece James a 5. And I gave man like, who was our last substitution again? Christopher Nkunku. I gave him a 5. So that is the player ratings. And I gave Enzo Maresca a 9. So yeah, man. You guys let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. If not, I'll catch you on the next one, which will be in the next 2 weeks. Make sure to check out the watch alongs throughout the week, and yeah, look out for the next video or live stream. But until then, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for your support, and as always, come on Chelsea, come on Chelsea. We are back in action after international break against Leicester. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, man, enjoy the rest of your evening. We had 2 votes on the poll. 2 people voted that Pedro Neto was their man of the match. Calm. Say less. But until next time, in a bit, my people, damn. Love.